Hey there, synth drones. Today we're going to be talking about GAS. Not the belly kind. Gear Acquisition Syndrome. Hi, I'm Pure Ambient Joan, and this is my channel where I talk about synthesizers. If you haven't already done so, hit the subscribe button, tap that bell to keep up with all of my synth adventures. Well, GAS is a big problem for a lot of synth drones. And if it isn't nipped in the bud, it can bring somebody to the poorhouse pretty darn quick. But I think even equally as bad is it can kill a person's dream. It can kill a person's hobby, if you will. Now, when I'm talking about GAS, I'm talking about, and you guys who've had it, and I don't know any synth drones who have not had it, you see a synthesizer, and to you, it's almost like sexual pornography, okay? You can't keep your eyes off of it. You want to touch it. You want to feel it. You want to have it in your possession. You want to own it. You want to caress it. You want to... I'm getting carried away just talking about it, okay? But you guys get the picture. The point that I'm making, though, is, all kidding aside, is that GAS can lead to more than just financial problems. And what I mean by that is it can kill your hobby, it can kill your livelihood, it can kill your dreams. When somebody has too many synthesizers, now we're just talking about synthesizers, but this can be applied to almost just about anything, then they soon run out of space. And if they don't run out of space, they're going to run out of ideas quicker than if they had fewer pieces of gear. Now, let me explain to you. When you have too many choices, okay, your mind is going in too many directions and it can't settle anywhere. It just keeps looking here and looking there and looking up and looking down and looking to the sides and looking everywhere. And where it's looking is all the wrong places, because what it's looking at is, which piece of gear should I play with today? You look around your room, your studio, and you're overwhelmed. You have too much gear. Not only does it cause problems with too many choices, but it sucks something out of you. There can be guilt if you're a family man. You could be looking at all of these synthesizers and wondering, why in the world did you spend so much money on so much gear and you're not even using them? Or you don't even have to be a family man, right? Okay, the guilt doesn't have to come from the fact that you're taking funds away from your family and you're going into debt. The guilt can just basically come from yourself, where you say to yourself, look at all this gear, and I'm just wasting it. I'm just wasting it. I shouldn't be doing this. Now, of course, everybody with enough gear, sooner or later, gets to where I'm talking about, and that's just one problem, okay? One of the things that I have been doing in the last several months is I have been letting go of synthesizers. Now, I know I did a video on keep your synthesizers. But if you watch that video, you'll see that there's all kinds of reasons as to why you should keep your synthesizers. And I'm not telling anybody in this video that you shouldn't get rid of any of your gear. I'm just telling you what I have been doing. I have been working on several projects with some individuals that was bringing me income. And for those projects, I needed certain gear. Those projects are no longer in the works, and I cannot foresee a time when I will be needing the types of gear that I have been using for them, so I have been letting them go. Now, at first I wanted to hang on to them, but I started feeling overwhelmed, out of space, and really realizing that because I get gas every now and then, I would purchase something that would do something similar, or that would sound something similar to what I already have. And remember what I told you, overlapping sounds in your studio. When you have identical sounding synthesizers or things that can duplicate other synthesizers, You don't need all of those synthesizers. I don't. Okay, I don't want to speak for anybody else. I want to be careful that I don't give anybody advice and somebody sells off all of their gear because they watched this video and they go, oh, he tells me not to, then he tells me to do it. I'm not telling anybody to do anything. This is my synth adventures. You have your own, and you can share them here in the comments. I would have welcomed that. But for me, I was done with these projects, and I started feeling guilty because I started asking myself, why aren't I using these synthesizers? I have them, and I paid for them, and, you know, even though they're paid for and they earn their keep, I should be using them. I just crazy thoughts like that. They would come and go. They'd be random. And then I would be like, oh, I'm doing this track. Should I use this synth? I haven't played with that synthesizer in a while. Should I unbox it and take it down? Because that's what I do. I do box things up. And I keep them in storage. And you know what? I've been taking a lot of things out over the last couple of months, and I've been playing back through them and realizing this isn't something that I need to keep. This isn't one of my favorites. Now, you know, GAS is a funny thing because you can do exactly what I'm talking about. You can get rid of gear, watch a video on it, and start reminiscing about it and going, oh, man, I shouldn't have sold that. I think I'm going to go buy that again. And that's happened to me as well. But that's in extreme cases for myself speaking, okay? If you want to combat GAS, okay, and I'm the worst guy to ask for advice on combating GAS, but for myself, what I do, and I had to discipline myself to do this, is I had to stop looking at synthesizer demo videos, okay? And that's one of the reasons, by the way, I don't do a whole lot of demos anymore, is because I realized what they were doing to me. You really can't get a super duper feel for a synthesizer until you try it out anyway. And here's the thing about GAS. If you want a synthesizer, it doesn't matter what anybody says about it. It doesn't matter anything. If you really want one and you have GAS for it, you're going to try, at the very least, try to talk yourself into getting that synthesizer. Now, there was one particular synthesizer that I really wanted a couple of years ago, and I would see something negative about it, and you know what I would do? I would hush that up. I'd be like, you get over there and shut up. I'm going to watch a positive video on this. And I would start looking for positive things. You know, I was thinking about that today, and I got to thinking, you know, we are our own worst enemies when it comes to GAS, because we want to be talked into it. And we look for things to talk us into it. And it's almost like there's this, I don't know, this little devil or something sitting on our shoulder saying, you know you want it, take it, you know. I don't know. And we could become so entranced by a synthesizer that we don't even know anything about other than it's got lots of knobs or whatever it is that turns your screw. We're almost like a scene out of Lord of the Rings where we're looking at the screen and we're watching the videos and suddenly we find ourselves saying, my precious, we love synthesizers. And then you're like, who said that? It was that little voice in your head. How can you fight that? Well, one of the things that you have to do is you have to abstain. Like I said, one thing is you have to abstain from watching those kind of videos because they're going to trigger something inside of you where you're going to look around your room and say, well, my synth can't do that, or it does it better than my synth, or it does it different than my synth. And you're going to end up reaching for it and buying it, and before you know it, it's going to be parked on your desk or in your office or your studio, wherever it's going to be at, on your floor, and you're going to be looking around for days, weeks, months, years. Where am I going to put this thing? Now, I've talked to a few people, and I know a few people that have synthesizers packed away that they bought and never even unpacked to see if they work because, you know, they bought them used. And I've seen people buy brand new stuff, and they've never played them. It's crazy, but it happens. And, you know, and until it happens to you, if you're watching this and you've never had this problem, until it happens to you, you really cannot judge another synth drone because it can happen to the best of us. It really can. And anyone that says they've never gassed over a synthesizer either isn't being honest or they're just not there yet. You know what I mean? But there is no shame in admitting to it. You know, I mean, this is what my vlog is all about. It's about my synth adventures. And if I got up here and I wanted to lie to you guys and tell you these things never happened to me, I would be less than human. But, you know, this channel is about transparency. It's about openness. We have enough fake everything in this world. I don't want to be one of those people. I want to come to you and honestly tell you that I have suffered from gas and I've struggled with letting go of stuff, and I have become overwhelmed with what I had to the point to where I just stopped making music at times because I walk into my studio and I don't know where to begin. I don't know where to begin. And that's a horrible thing. And now, before anybody jumps to the comment section and wants to write this real fast, there's one more thing about gas syndrome. And I'm missing a billion things, so leave them in the comments. Please help me out here, guys. When you have gas and you have a bunch of synthesizers, a couple of more things happen. One of them is you don't appreciate what you already have. And because you don't appreciate it, you don't spend time with it. And you don't learn the gear that you already have. You don't sit down and tweak and play and learn and read and study what you already have. Believe me, you can fall in love with the gear that you already have if you just start reading up on it and watching videos on that synth gear that you've got, not the gear that you don't have. And I see it all the time. People will watch videos on synthesizers that they don't have because they want it and they think that the synthesizer is going to do their job for them. And what I mean by that is, if I just had the right synthesizer, I would make some incredible music. Look, if you've got a modern day synthesizer of any value, you can make some awesome music if the music is inside of you. Okay, you can't blame the synthesizer for your music. Now, I'm not talking about all synthesizers, don't get me wrong. But I'm just saying, if you've got 4 or 5 synthesizers sitting around and they're pro quality synths, you can make music with them, okay? And the next synthesizer is not going to help you with that because the problem isn't the synthesizer, it's us. We're looking at videos to see what else we can do, but we want the machine to do all the work. The machine is a tool. A hammer is a tool. We pick a hammer up and we swing it, but the hammer is not going to swing itself. You see what I mean? The hammer has to be wielded, and it has to be used by the carpenter or the handyman or whoever's using it. Same goes with a synthesizer. Okay, we have to use what we have. Now, that's not to say that every synthesizer out there in the world can do every type of music to the degree that we want it to. There are some synthesizers that are better at certain genres of music, and I get it, right? I mean, you don't want to buy a monophonic, let's say, oh my gosh, what am I getting at? MS-20, okay? You don't want to buy Korg MS-20 and try to get it to sound like an authentic grand piano, okay? And please don't leave comments where people say, I once did a patch like that. You know what I'm talking about, right? I mean, let's just keep it real here, okay? Okay, you can make your MS-20 sound somewhat like a piano. But if you really want grand piano and you want violins and trumpets and all of that stuff, you're going to go with a digital keyboard, right? Okay, so that's all I mean. So if you have enough tools in your arsenal already, look in your toolbox before you go shopping for more tools. That's all I got to say. And if you're overwhelmed and you're freaking out, pack some things up, put them away, and then you ponder what you want to do with all of your synthesizers. I try to keep these things around 10 minutes, but today I rambled on a little bit longer. I just want to get some things out there. But I love all of you guys. Please keep it friendly in the comment section because we have some of the smartest people in the world, okay, commenting here. And I love all of you guys. Just want to let you guys know my videos are raw. You know, I don't have any extra lighting in here, special cameras. I'm doing this on my phone. You know, I do that because I want to be a real person, you know. I want you guys to know that you can believe that what I'm telling you is the truth as I know it, as it is spoken. It's not a misleading channel to you guys. I'm doing the best that I can as a synth head, synth drone, I should say. And I know you guys are too. And if we're honest with each other, we all know that we're on it. We're on this journey together. So anyway, leave your comments below. And until next time, keep calm and synth on.